It is very difficult for me to speak respectfully about unremarkable people without any real accomplishments, who do not deserve respect. No one needs to wonder how such an obvious no-talent little runt like Fallon replaced Jay Leno, so Jimmy can hang with wannabe royalty and help promote fascism. The bar for a leader is now so low that any prostitute and her or his pimp have no problem becoming the occupants of the White House. Don't believe it possible that Barry might marry Reggie? With mostly cowardly hayseeds in Washington, nothing is impossible.
But now, over the past 4 years, communities have been changing. So the day of a child's life is different from beginning to end.
You can say that again thanks to criminals like your roommate, cops with no self-esteem who desperately want to please a little Hitler, now arrest 5-year-olds for pointing a finger and pretend that it's a gun.
Fun thing is that if we get enough of a response, we'll have a little surprise. The president and maybe the vice president will show us how they move. But we gotta get...
Well, we've long figured out that this thing moves to a different beat. Should the irresponsible and lazy lamestream media decide to dig a bit into his background, they might be shocked.
Fun thing is that if we get enough of a response, we'll have a little surprise. The president.
As for Barry, he is no president. He's a community organizer. Granted, he was successful as a strumpet, but just like you, a useless affirmative action buffoon. I suggest you take care of your kids instead of pushing them off on your mother. Our kids are none of your business. What a smug, dumb beard who just realized she's about to go on another multi-million-dollar vacation, courtesy of the dumb taxpayers. The last one was eons ago, nearly 4 entire weeks. It sure gave her plenty of time to cook up new ways to promote neurotoxins as healthy choices. That's how beautiful she was without a gazillion toadies at her beck and call, and, well, whoever thought a hoochie would elevate America's standing in the world? Barry spent $1 trillion tax dollars for the stimulus, but all the thug did was reward political backers and cronies, while he, with the help from the whores in Washington, including a dishonorable criminal who sits on the Supreme Court, caused the destruction of the American medical system and the economy and turned America into a third world banana republic. While the financial catastrophe is rolling across the country, carefully choreographed by the gangster government, dim-bulb Jimmy, a despicable little sycophantic muppet, entertains one of the illegal squatters. The little weasel is so proud being a media whore, everyone in Washington can now have a clear conscience and ignore millions upon millions of victims of this unaffordable so-called CARE Act. And to make you forget all of the mess the illegal created, they parade a Mooch, whom the lickspittles in the lamestream media call Lady. That same media who made fools believe that both of the clowns were lawyers. No, Lady is not her title, and together with their closest cocaine-addled friends are stinking up our White House, as the illegal punk she is supposedly married to is a foreign strumpet, also known as a prostitute or hooker. Whatever you want to call someone trading sex for money. The clowns in the lamestream media circus insist that Barry, the affirmative action Takia practicing Muslim thug and serial liar, is a real president. Instead, he's head of a crime syndicate, the Washington, D.C. private corporation. He's not president of the United States of America. Thank the Wall Street banksters for that, and include the congressional whores in Washington for the coup d'etat that brought us this gangster government. And judging from the ignorant clappers, they obviously have not yet had their fill from the looting grifters masquerading as legitimate residents. I honestly wonder just how much more people are able to take having their faces rubbed into the dirt on a daily basis by a couple of useless lowlifes, making sure America can see where and how they feed their dogs, while we have more than 92 million people suffering through unemployment and about half of the country on food stamps.
Yes, it
And now,
is.
why? Because a lot of young people watch our show. And would you like to tell them, like, why would they? Because a lot of people don't have money to spend on this.
Well, thanks to the Affordable Care Act, young people can stay on their parents' insurance until they're 26.
You may be as the stupid little Fallon sycophant and his audience, but I doubt the regular YouTube bunch is that dumb. When parents lose their jobs due to the Unaffordable Care Act, how can they cover their kids? Think the gullible dupes fall on that? This is stupidity writ large, and the ones imparting all that knowledge have barely 2 brain cells each.
Another CBS 13 viewer says she's being denied health care because she has insurance through Covered California.
These doctors are not taking this plan.
Last night, we told you about a Sonora man with the same problem.
Nick James is live in the newsroom now. He's getting answers about why some doctors are apparently refusing to see patients who have insurance through Covered California. And Nick, this story is popping up one day after another now.
And before, they couldn't get it because they couldn't afford it. And now young people can get insurance for as little as $50 a month.
You are a disgusting liar. Now they especially can't afford it, since the $50 was and is BS. And members of the Democratic Party make fun of those who ask a simple question. Not that the stupid party is any better. They both work hard destroying America's livelihood.
Americans across the country, they are facing skyrocketing premiums or even losing their health insurance. But Democrats, they seem to think that it's a laughing matter. Take a look at how Democratic lawmakers responded when a citizen asked one simple and honest question about his health care.
I thought the Affordable Health Care Act was to save $2,500 per family. What happened? I was leaving it with Shelton.
I voted no, so I'll let these guys.
But once they hit 26, they're on their own. And a lot of young people think they're invincible. But the truth is, young people are knuckleheads.
First of all, with your gazillion assistants, you are the knucklehead. You put your mother in charge of the kids, not surprising, since there's no record, nor has anyone ever seen Mooch Robinson pregnant. The girls don't even look alike and definitely don't look like either one of the parents. No problem with adoptions, on the contrary. But in the beginning, this abnormal bunch needed to keep it a secret from the sheep that Barry is a homosexual.
They're the ones who were cooking for the first time and sliced their finger open.
Put something commonly known as a Band-Aid over the finger and voila, no one in need of a doctor. Besides, the Unaffordable Care Act was never meant to give people health care. It was implemented to show the fools how government can take over and destroy the economy of a once self-reliant, independent people.
So what we're asking people to do is show us how you're moving. And we want people to Facebook it, tweet it, all that.
Instagram it,
the hashtag
Vine it.
is hashtag Let's Move.
Yep.
And I want to see how people around the country are moving and changing the standards for health for our kids.
Oh, I believe that America is dumb enough to do just that.
And they're dancing on the bar stool. They're
Young people.
The young people.
You see, most young men weren't as lucky as Barry to get their start as a drug mule prostitute for older white men, and a Saudi bought Barry the presidency of a university with $20 million. Hetero-boys can't compete with that. They're called knuckleheads by a piece of excrement who married a queer for money. So we have 2 strumpets illegally parking their butts in the people's house.
No.
But while young people think they're invincible, they're not. You know, life happens.
You have a point. Just ask the mothers, relatives, and friends of these young men and Loretta Fuddy.
Yeah.
And as a mother, and I know there are a lot of moms out there who worry that their kids are going to, have a terrible accident.
You mean like the terrible accidents that happened to these victims? Did your roommate not believe they didn't have families who love and now miss them terribly? These young people had to die so they wouldn't expose the bastard who killed them. If someone calls this strumpet the P word to my face, I swear I'm going to deck them.